Marhaban, welcome to lesson 1 of the Modern Standard Arabic Conversational course. I've got a spreadsheet open and we're going to begin to create conversation right now by mixing and matching building blocks. So you'll see how that goes. Going to begin with marhaban. So say that with me. Say marhaban. And that's hello. So the first block, right? That's just one. That's one block. So you can say marhaban, and I'll say marhaban. Next up, kaifa haluka. Kaifa haluka. That H is haluka. Try to really blow it out like kaifa haluka. Kaifa means how, and haluka literally means your condition. So how your condition is, how are you? Okay, so as we begin to learn this, try to make it a habit right away. Try to go for muscle memory, repetition, and thinking this way. You visualize using it, speaking practice, building muscle, making a habit out of it. So just make a habit out of it. Marhaban, marhaban, kaifa haluka, marhaban, kaifa haluka. Right? Walk around the house like marhaban, kaifa haluka. Text a friend that speaks Arabic and say marhaban, kaifa haluka. That'll actually do that. That's one of the best things you can do. So kaifa haluka. Response is ana bi khair, alhamdulillah. All right, if this is completely new for you, I know it takes a little practice to get this stuff down. And by the way, as we go, I'll help. We'll break down these things. We'll break them into their so we'll know. You know, ana means I. You know, bikhair means of, you know, it means in goodness. Like I'm in goodness. I'm well. I'm good. Ana bikhair. And alhamdulillah is incredibly common. It means praise be to Allah, and it's like almost everyone says that. It's not particularly a religious thing at all. It's not Muslim or Christian either. It's just a very common thing for to say in Arabic. And you don't necessarily have to say it, but ana bi khair, alhamdulillah, very typical. Okay, so marhaban, kaifa haluka. All right, so here we go. Conversation is like tennis. Remember that back and forth sport. So if I ask you a question, it's like I'm serving you the ball. All right, so I can practice. We can practice by me saying marhaban. You pause the video here and you go marhaban. Right, let's have a conversation here as best we can. I'll say kaifa haluka, kaifa haluka, marhaban, kaifa haluka. Pause the video, say ana bi khair, alhamdulillah. Next question, ma ismuka? Ma ismuka? Ma ismuka? Ma means what, or kind of like what is. There's no is, but it's, you know. And ismuka is your name. Notice, by the way, that haluka means your condition, and ismuka means your name, right? So both translations have your in them. So if you look at haluka and ismuka, what part of that do you think means your? And I bring this up because this is an important point in terms of language learning strategy, being able to notice patterns and extract the pattern out of things, right? So we see that if both are, we have uka is what they have in common. You know what I mean? So if I'm you, I'm thinking, oh, okay, so uka, that's a. So if you gave me another noun like house or car or phone or something, if I put uka on the end, would that mean your? So how do you say house? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so bait. Bait means house. So in my mind, I'm like, is it what it should be beituka, right? For your house? And I might test that. I might ask someone, is it correct that? And it is. So I'm like, all right, nice. All right, so just a quick note about language learning strategy, pattern recognition, applying patterns places. It's true, uka. So ma ismuka, literally. So how do you say name? Right? You should be able to. You can separate the. So ism means name. So ma ism uka. What's your name? Right, just like how is your so condition is hal. How, kaifa, hal uka. Marhaban kaifa haluka. Ana bikhair alhamdulillah. Ma ismuka. I'm going to say ismi. Ismi Tony. Ismi, insert your name. What part of ismi means my? Right? It's the new part. Ismi. So is it, so then based on what we know now, ismi to mean my name, Tony. My name, Tony. There's no is. It's just my name, Tony. Ismi, Tony. Ismi and then your name. And it's ismi. So based on that, how do you say my house, just as a random on the side? Beiti. All right? Very important thing to be thinking about, and we're going to do this. Every time it comes up, I'll point stuff out, point these patterns out, because once you've seen a few patterns in terms of, of things like this, you're just applying the patterns in new places. Okay, so marhaban, kaifa haluka. You'll say, ana bikhair, alhamdulillah. Ask me, say, Tony, kaifa haluka. Pause there and say, kaifa haluka. And I'm like, ana bikhair, alhamdulillah, right? Ask me, what's your name? Ma ismuka. Ma ismuka. And I was, ismi Tony. Tasharafna means nice to meet you. Tasharafna, okay? I hope that you can use this stuff right away. That there's someone or multiple people in your life that you can use this with. My suggestion is don't wait until you speak well to start speaking, because if you're waiting to be, until you speak well to start, then you'll never speak well. Like you have to start ASAP. Using the language, speaking with people, and hopefully you'll have someone that kind of understands and is down to play with it, like down to let you practice, like they know you're learning, like there's no expectations. It's just good practice partners that you can try this stuff out with. So try it. Tell someone marhaban, Keifa haluka. Ma ismuka. Try it out. See how it goes. It'll go well. So yeah, we've just got two questions so far, and just add another. Min aina anta. We're just trying to get the ball rolling. A few questions, a few answers, and let the questions and the answers teach us the patterns. All right. Once again, questions and answers teach us the patterns. Okay. Min aina anta. Min means from. Aina means where. So again, just breaking these things down. From where you. Anta means you. And that's speaking to a male. Speaking to a male, you say anta. Anti is speaking to a female. So again, it's not your gender, it's the gender of the person you're speaking to. So anta or anti, okay? So min aina anta could just as well be min aina anti. Speaking to male, speaking to female. Okay, so if you're speaking to me, you say min aina anta. But it could be either. So okay, so from where are you means where are you from? Okay, so min aina anta. Okay, so ask me, Tony, min aina anta. Try to do it without looking. Try to just get, remember how to say it. Min aina anta. All right. Also, no need to think in English. No need to think from where. Don't worry about it. Just make a habit out of saying min aina anta. Min aina anta, as if it were one word. Min aina anta. So Tony, min aina anta, and I'm going to say ana min, and I'm in Chicago. Ana min and I'm in Chicago. Okay. Take a look here how when we start this sentence with Anna, I'm putting Anna in that column, okay? Anna meaning I, or I am, right? There's no M. It's just I from Chicago, right? So the Anna part is like the verb. I guess it's not technically a verb, but it acts like the verb in this sentence because the verb there isn't am. So so Anna starting as the verb, being like the verb starting point, allows us to reach into various options for vocabulary. So this is another extremely important point that we'll continue to use throughout this course, which is that the verb starting point is like the seed of the sentence, and the branches are the vocabulary. So I can say, and I'm in Chicago, and I'm in New York, and I'm in here, and I'm in there. And I'm in Masr means Egypt. And I'm in Lubnan, right? Lubnan. I will say Lebanon. And I'm in Lebanon is Lebanon. And I'm in Syria. Right, a few, Arabic-speaking country places. But the verb starting point. Now, if I say hal anta, it means are you. Hal just is yes or no question. So are you? The effect here, if you haven't seen it before, is a matrix, because I can go, I'm from Chicago, I'm from XYZ, I'm from Masr, I'm from Lebanon, and I'm in Syria, and so on and so forth. Or, are you from Chicago? Are you from here? Are you from this? So you could ask me, Tony, are you from Chicago? Ask me, hal anta min Chicago, Tony. All right, pause and say, hal anta min Chicago. And I'm going to say, Nam, which means yes. Nam, and I'm in Chicago. If I ask you, hal enta, and remember there's also anti. So hal enta or hal enti min Chicago, and if so, say nam, and I'm in Chicago. See how we make this little conversation circle. If you're not from, it's going to say la. Lestu means I'm not. We can do deeper lessons on all of these things later. For now, just trust me that lestu means I'm not. So you'd say lestu, I'm not min Chicago. I'm not from Egypt. Lestu min Masr. Lestu min Lebanon. Lestu min Syria. All right, see all those possibilities? Using that verb starting point concept, verbs as seeds, vocabulary as branches, and the conversation as a tree. Let's do one more question today. And that's going to be هل تتكلم عربي? Speaking to a female, هل تتكلمين عربي? Do you speak Arabic? هل تتكلم عربي? Hal again is just that. It makes it a yes no question. So yes no, yes no تتكلمين عربي. أتكلم means I speak. أتكلم عربي. أتكلم إنجليزي. If you speak Spanish, you can say أتكلم إسباني. If you speak French, you can say أتكلم فرنسي. If you speak Italian, you can say أتكلم إيطالي. Verb starting point. Vocabulary branches. Verbs are seeds. Vocabulary are branches. Conversation is a tree. Language is made up of conversations, which means language is an orchard of many trees. You know what I mean? Or a forest. So, أتكلم عربي. If you speak Arabic a little, say أتكلم عربي قليلا. أتكلم عربي قليلا. If you أتكلم إنجليزي قليلا. أتكلم إسباني قليلا. أتكلم فرنسي قليلا. أتكلم إيطالي قليلا, and so on. Okay, take أتكلم, turn it into the second person. Second person, you. Move this over. هل تتكلم, speaking to female, هل تتكلمين? We can create some interesting conversation, right? Ask me, Tony, do you speak? By the way, notice the pattern. أتكلم for I, and we added تكلم for you. Same with speaking to a female, except we also got the "in" ending on the end. So we'll see these patterns more and more as we go. But again, just want to make sure we're looking at patterns, thinking what could be what. So here's what you can do too. You can grab a notebook and write out some dialogues. So write out and see if you could write dialogues from memory, just on what we've learned today. If you need to look back, but see what you can do. Practice thinking this way, thinking through this, visualizing yourself using the language, and then actually using the language with real people. That could be text, message, and real life. Anywhere where you're playing live tennis, real conversation with other people. But yeah, so developing dialogues in written format. It could be like, "Hi, how are you? Good. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Egypt. Oh, do you speak Arabic? Yes, I speak Arabic. Do you speak Arabic? Oh, I speak Arabic a little. Do you speak French? No, I don't speak French. لا أتكلم. لا, I don't speak Arabic. I don't speak Spanish. لا أتكلم. لا أتكلم عربي. لا أتكلم إنجليزي. Okay. The point here at the end is that it's entirely up to you what you do with this. Uh, it's not, well, it's basic. It's not enough to just study it. That's not the point. I mean, if you want to just study and never use it, that's up to you. But if the goal is to be practical, then you have to be practical. So my point is that it's entirely up to you how you use this. You have building blocks here that you are allowed to use, you're able to use to create new sentences. You don't need to wait for me or anyone to tell you that you can say this or you can say that in the language. You are creative right away. Insert new language, mix and match this way or that way. Write a dialogue this way or that way. There's tons of different ways. It's just a growing number of possibilities, soon virtually infinite possibilities of combinations that you could make by mixing and matching just the verb and the vocab mainly. Okay, so that's lesson 1. I hope you had fun, and we will continue in lesson 2 and 3 and 4 to continue to create conversation using questions, answers, questions, answers, questions, answers, and letting the question answer teach us patterns. And that's really the whole